5 News at 9.
Parts of the state saw some severe weather today, and we are not out of the woods yet.
Let's go right to Fox 25 Chief Meteorologist Jack Griffin. Jack, we can kind of see that line of storms is starting to inch its way closer and closer to the metro here.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit closer, but still, though, fairly far off to the west at this point. Winds have been our main threat with most of these storms, with the warnings that we'll get to here in a moment, up to 70 miles an hour. First off, though, I want to start with kind of the more bigger picture. We do have a big change to our watches that we did have. We no longer have a tornado watch within our part of the state anymore. That went until 10 o'clock, so it was expired early. And now we have a big severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. So those are the counties that you see there in the blue. So we basically have trimmed away the tornado watch, and now we've lost our severe thunderstorm, or now we have gained a little bit more in the way of some size as well as just duration with our severe thunderstorm watch. We are watching, though, two storms. The southern one that's down in Beckham County by Sayre and the Delhi areas is really the one to watch out for. This goes until 9:15, but it's got the chance for up to 70-mile-per-hour winds as well as 2-inch in diameter hail. And there are some areas of rotation that we're watching pretty closely with that. So we do have our storm tracker Carly as well as Andrew out there. And Carly, we've got your shot pulled up with a great look there of the supercell and the lowering. What are you guys seeing with that storm there? Because it looks visually very impressive.
We actually think we may have seen just a slight brief touchdown. It is trying real hard to go ahead and pretty much just give us a show while we're sitting here.
Yeah, we are watching it, and as we are, approaching now the little bit 9 o'clock hour now at this point, you guys have been on a number of storms, very, very ragged. This is by far the most structurally impressive storm that you have seen this evening, correct?
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, this one is holding its structure fairly well and does not look like it's going to try to fall apart at any time soon, actually.
And I know that you guys are positioned in a spot where this wouldn't be a problem, but have you seen any hail with it? Because this one is the one that's warned for up to 2-inch in diameter hail.
We have not seen any hail in this yet.
Just watching this there, I mean, it is low, visually impressive, and we're going to look at that. Yeah, we are looking at a really good looking lowering there with this wall cloud. You've got the scud clouds also there too, just nice and ragged, but there's a lot of upward motion with that storm. And would you guys agree, a lot of upward motion with this storm right now?
Oh, yeah, this storm has a lot of upward motion. So far, probably one of the best overall on rotation and just in general we have seen all evening. Okay,
and Connor, I know that I'm not sure if your mic is turned on or not, but anything from NWS chat in there about the storm?
Nothing specifically about this storm.
Okay.
They are going to put out a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Greer and Harmon counties.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's gonna be partially to this one as well as partially storms that are down. Yeah, as it kind of moves down in that direction, it would make sense there. So we'll check back in with them. And Carly and Andrew, if you get any more good visual, just text us or send us a good picture there, because that's an incredible look there to our storm. We also have storms that are farther off to the north from there. You've got a big severe thunderstorm warning that includes Weatherford, Custer City, Thomas, Watonga, and that is for up to 70-mile-per-hour winds as well as small hail. But that goes until 9:15, and we do have not as much in the way of rotation there, but there's still at least a little bit. But our tracker Caleb is out there, and Caleb, we've got your shot pulled up right now. Very heavy rain we are currently at, and are you able to see anything else visually impressive?
There's still just a lot of lightning here. The winds just a moment ago were whipping back and forth, probably about around 50 or 60 miles an hour, make it hard to drive. Other than that, there's not too much out of the storm. I'm going to try to get back in front of the Weatherford side here, come out of Clinton to see how that gust front.
All right, copy that, Caleb. Thank you very much. Here in the metro area, we are dry right now with clouds that have been building, and temperatures are currently in the 80s with dew points that are also really sticky as well. And so there's still a little bit of a heat index out there, but we are noticing, though, the winds have picked up where those storms are. We're really watching this. This is going to be our future cast, and as you can see, we're probably talking about an arrival time here in the metro, potentially 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere in that window for the storms to get here. Now, they're on a downward trend, and so we'll see if we have any warnings as they make their way on in. But as you can see, we're probably looking at maybe a couple of warnings, but for sure, a lot of heavy rain will be moving on through the metro area. So we'll talk more about that as we go throughout the remainder of our evening out there. Sorry that one took a little bit longer there, guys, but we wanted to just see if it did something, and so we'll throw it back to you.
All right, Jack, thank you. New court records raising fresh questions about Governor Kevin Stitt's role in the early release of convicted drunk driver Sarah Polston. The documents released today reveal the governor made more than a dozen phone calls to Polston's husband just hours before she was released from prison.
Polston was sentenced to 8 years for a deadly drunk driving crash, but served just 73 days behind bars. Fox 25's Rob Hagan spoke with the victim's attorney, who alleges Governor Stitt used his authority to secure Polston's release, then misled the public about his involvement.
Single occupants at both.
This is the aftermath from Sarah Polston's February 2023 drunk driving crash, putting Michaela Borrejo in a coma for 2 months with a traumatic brain injury and a broken body.
Somebody got T-boned.
A new grand jury report is shedding light on why Polston was released after serving just 73 days of an 8-year prison sentence. The report details more than a dozen phone calls between Governor Stitt and her husband, Rod Polston, before she entered custody and before her early release.
Those 16 calls, each one of them lines up with a call later that day or the next day between Rod Polston and Sarah Polston, where he's talking to her saying, I just talked to the guy, I just talked to our friend, and it's every one of them is a step of assistance.
Noble McIntyre, representing Borrejo, says the report contradicts the governor's claims he did not help Polston get out of prison. Fox 25 asked McIntyre if he was accusing the governor of lying.
And his response to me was it was the first he'd heard about it. It didn't seem right. Well, we now know because of the calls, what he told me was a lie.
McIntyre believes the governor put his friendship with a high-powered tax attorney and his wife ahead of his public duty.
The governor has an obligation to the people of the state to do the right thing, not do the friend thing.
We reached out to the governor's office asking for a response to the accusations the governor lied about these phone calls. They told us, quote, the grand jury's report stated there is no criminal wrongdoing from the governor, his office, or the Department of Corrections. The law has been followed by the state throughout the inmate's time in custody. In addition, Governor Stitt supported the legislature's work this session to modernize the law and deny home arrest to those convicted of a DUI with bodily harm. McIntyre says the focus should remain on his client, who was nearly killed in the crash, while Polston suffered a broken wrist and given a sobriety check in her hospital bed.
There's a 19-year-old little girl who did nothing wrong that was T-boned at 50 to 60 miles an hour by a woman who chose to be double the legal limits of alcohol at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the way to school to pick up her kids. She's a victim. It's not right what happened to her. It's not right what's happening now.
The supplemental report sealed by the court was released after the June primary election. Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News.
Tonight, the Logan County Rural Water District held a special meeting to discuss water needs tied to a proposed data center project in the area. We're hoping to find one of the companies connected to the project. Neighbors in Piedmont and surrounding communities say they wanted more information about what these data center projects could mean for their area, but it looks like they'll have to keep waiting for answers.
Never going to put our customers' water usage to a disadvantage by taking on another customer. We would have to be able to serve all of them equally as well.
I'm concerned that if these hyperscale data centers get passed, it's going to jeopardize our water, not just in quantity, but in quality.
The Water District tells us the company canceled its appearance tonight, and if Beltline wants to continue the conversation, the company would have to request a spot at a future meeting. New details are released in the homicide investigation of a missing Cleveland County teenager. The state medical examiner says 19-year-old Gabriel Butler died from multiple gunshot wounds after his body was found in February. Investigators are looking into whether his death is connected to a nearby shooting and an illegal marijuana grow operation. That case remains under investigation. Now let's take a look at the top 9 stories at 9 tonight. A religious argument took a violent turn, leading to the arrest of this woman.
Victim told police Christy Slocum allegedly punched and pushed them due to their beliefs. She's now facing multiple charges. The traffic stop in Ponca City ended with a drug trafficking arrest. Police say they discovered nearly 22 grams of meth in Alyssa Hubbard's car, and she threatened to kill one of the officers.
A marijuana bust in Osage County ended in 5 people being taken into ICE custody. OBN says agents seized nearly 12,000 plants and 850 pounds of marijuana. More arrests are expected in this case.
The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics says agents have made another major drug seizure during an ongoing investigation. Investigators recently confiscated 15 pounds of methamphetamine tied to a drug trafficking organization.
The family of a Missouri teenager is suing Snapchat parent company Snap, claiming the social media platform facilitated the teen's rape as a 12-year-old through Snapchat features such as Quick Add and Snap Map.
A former Georgia high school teacher been indicted on 27 counts in a sexual misconduct case. Prosecutors say the charges involve at least 7 students, including child molestation and sending explicit materials. A motion hearing scheduled for Monday.
Take a close look here. Police want to identify this man accused of using a stolen debit card at several businesses across Tulsa.
An iconic treat back at McDonald's just in time for summer, the fried apple pie. Fan favorite would be back on the menu for a limited time. You can buy them all day long in a single or 2-pack.
The U.S. Mint is rolling out a special collectible to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Officials say 250,000 limited edition 2026 quarters will feature the 4th of July.
That's a look at your top 9 at 9 tonight.
You can read more about these stories right now on OKCFox.com. While some sports analysts are calling tonight's World Cup match a low-risk game for Team USA, these top athletes say they aren't going in with their guard down.
This all comes as soccer's biggest tournament is about to go up to the next level ahead of the next round, the knockout round getting ready to start. Fox News reporter Ashley Dvorkin has more from Los Angeles on how Team USA's performance and teamwork guiding them along so far.
It's game day again, and while they're already moving on, Team USA is looking to go into the round of 32 undefeated. There's a lot for fans to celebrate as Team USA heads into its last game of the World Cup group stage, having earned back-to-back wins so far, a first since 1930. They face off against Turkey later tonight here at Los Angeles Stadium. Win or lose, Team USA has already secured a spot in the knockout round of 32. Their first match is scheduled for July 1st at San Francisco Bay Area Stadium and could wind up being against Bosnia. Still, athletes say they don't plan on backing down on the pitch today.
Everybody's been grinding.
Christian Pulisic has still been training after missing the last match against Australia because of a left leg injury.
I care obviously for this team so deeply, just like we all do, and I just want us to win, whether I'm playing or not playing.
But with the knockouts getting closer, head coach Mauricio Pochettino will determine whether Pulisic should wait to play.
I think it's evolving really well.
This as increasing demand for tickets to Team USA's first knockout round match are driving up prices.
There's got to be 1 million people who would like to be at that match, including me.
So how much did you pay?
I don't want my wife to find out.
Meanwhile, tens of thousands will be getting ready to pack into Los Angeles Stadium tonight, while others cheer on teams from watch parties nationwide. In Los Angeles, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
World Cup watch parties continuing all across the metro. Fans are cheering on their favorite teams.
Fox 25's Rob Hagan live at the Bricktown Ballpark. Rob, how are things looking out there tonight?
Well, first of all, Wendy, Adam, you're interrupting me. I'm trying to watch the game. They're tied right now, but I'm kidding. Check out this scene. Be jealous. Everybody's right here on the lawn watching the Jumbotron right here. No better place to see it. Now, just to reiterate, Team USA's already done the hard part. They've cinched their top spot in their group. So tonight's match against Turkey would not affect their path towards the knockout round. But it would make history, because if Team USA wins tonight, it would make history because they have never won 3 matches in a single World Cup, marking a new milestone for Team USA more bragging rights and helping to grow the sport even bigger. Now, I have talked with a family from Kansas City. They just stumbled upon the Bricktown ballpark, and a lot of people have left the field right now because of the fear of the flying water. It's just now sprinkling, but they are up in the stands watching the game. More and more people are pouring in here. I will say this, I love Oklahoma City. I have never seen anything like this. This is the spot to be for tonight's watch party, and root for Team USA. Until then, live at the Bricktown Ballpark, Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News.
Oklahoma City Animal Welfare asking the community to help as the shelter runs out of space. Officials say the shelter over capacity. There's no available kennel space for additional dogs. So to encourage adoptions, all adoption-ready dogs are available through the shelter's Name Your Price promotion. That's going through Saturday. Every adoptable pet is spayed or neutered, microchipped, and up to date on vaccinations as well.
Summer's been a little rough for us to start. We average about 150 dogs coming into our shelter per week. And some of those weeks, you know, it could be upwards of 200, sometimes a little less, but at least over the last 8 weeks, we're seeing about an average of 150 dogs. Dogs are definitely not leaving as quickly as they're coming into our shelter.
The shelter's open for adoptions Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 5.
As you can see with our storm trackers, Carly as well as Andrew there with their shot, we are tracking a supercell through southwest Oklahoma right now. Coming up, we'll be talking about this storm plus additional storms in our forecast for tomorrow after this.
A major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court on an issue Spotlight on America has been covering for years.
The safety of the weed killer Roundup and who gets to decide whether it should carry a cancer warning. Fox 25 investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher walks us through on their decision and what it could mean for Americans.
I'm Lisa Fletcher for Spotlight on America. A major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court on an issue we've been covering for years, centering on the safety of the weed killer Roundup.
It was one of the most closely watched cases of the Supreme Court term. The justices ruled 7-2 in favor of Monsanto, holding that federal law prevents states from requiring Roundup to carry a cancer warning when the EPA has approved a label without one. The decision could reshape thousands of cases against the maker of the world's most widely used weed killer, Roundup, which has long been scrutinized for being potentially dangerous to human health, tied to its key ingredient, glyphosate. The company has paid out billions of dollars, mostly to farmers who blame their non-Hodgkin lymphoma on Roundup. Monsanto called the ruling good for science, farmers, and industries because it will contain the litigation. But it's been described by critics as a get-out-of-jail-free card. They would shield not just the makers of the weed killer Roundup from legal liability, but potentially every other chemical maker, so long as the EPA clears its label. Attorney Brent Wisner secured the first landmark verdict against Roundup's maker.
The idea that we would take pesticide companies and put them on the same pedestals as vaccine manufacturers and have these liability shields, it's just preposterous. And I think most Americans would find that appalling.
People versus poison! The case sparked a rally on the steps of the Supreme Court this spring to urge a different outcome because many believe its consequences reach far beyond one pesticide.
Pesticides are manufactured to kill things.
Melissa Perry, Dean of the School of Public Health at George Mason University, has been studying pesticides for 3 decades.
The last thing I want to see is for this to be a closed book.
Perry says science doesn't stand still.
I think my concerns are the notion that there's a definitive decision, a declaration, and therefore no further inquiry, no further evaluation and scrutiny happens.
In the wake of this decision, dissenting justices worry those harmed will have little recourse, stating, ultimately, the effect of the majority's interpretation is both remarkable and regrettable, for it unjustifiably closes the courthouse doors. This, as the EPA has faced renewed questions about just how it interacts with an industry it is charged with policing. Recently uncovered emails we obtained show EPA officials met with Bayer's CEO on legal judicial issues as recently as 2025. When we started asking questions, they went unanswered, and the agency took an unprecedented step in our experience, referring us to the Department of Justice.
Congress has weighed a bill that would create a similar legal shield, but it was ultimately defeated amid outcry. This spring, the EPA confirmed it is currently re-examining whether glyphosate causes cancer and says it'll have that evaluation done this year. We will, of course, be closely watching it. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
The White House is asking Congress for more than $87.5 billion, mainly to restock military supplies. The Office of Management and Budget made the request yesterday. $67 billion would go to the Department of War. The rest would be for aid to American farmers, the Ebola crisis in Africa, and restoration projects in Washington, D.C. The request comes hours after President Trump berated Republican senators at a lunch over their votes on a war powers resolution asking to stop military action against Iran.
President Trump's initial reason for not signing the housing bill into law immediately was because he wants the Save America Act passed. That SAVE Act would give the federal government authority to require citizens to have IDs before voting. It passed the House, stalled in the Senate. Lawmakers say there's little chance it moves ahead. Up until now, it had little to do with the housing bill. Trump went into more detail about his feelings on the housing legislation, which seeks to increase the supply of houses.
It's all about the interest rate. Lower the interest rates, you can have all the housing you want. But you have to understand, I don't want to hurt people that own houses too. These people, for the first time in their lives, they have valuable houses. They become rich. I don't want to hurt them either.
He's argued this point in the past. Now, the housing bill would cap the number of single-family houses large financial institutions can buy. Supporters say that's one way you can free up the supply.
Officials say at least 188 people are dead and more than 200 are trapped following powerful back-to-back earthquakes in Venezuela. At least 1,500 people were injured in the quakes and thousands more reported missing. The nation's acting president says intensive rescue operations are underway in the region and rescue teams certified by the United Nations are on their way to help.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. sending resources to help Venezuela.
We're already deploying search and rescue teams from Fairfax County, Virginia, and Los Angeles. There'll be some others we'll add. That's their most immediate need right now.
Rubio says the U.S. also plans to send medical resources and humanitarian assistance to the country, vowing a fast and effective response. He notes one of the runways at the international airport in Caracas was cracked in the earthquakes. It's going to make landing an aircraft pretty difficult there. Now, British military says a cargo ship traveling through the Strait of Hormuz was hit by a projectile today. British authorities say the cargo ship was traveling along a United Nations approved route in the strait. There were no reported casualties in the strike. Iran's military had previously threatened to strike vessels using the UN approved path, which runs along the coast of Oman. Now, Iran did not immediately comment on the incident.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Maritime Agency is pausing the evacuation of ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The agency has been working to move stranded ships out of the Persian Gulf through the strait. It's pausing the effort until it can confirm safety guarantees are in place for ships on the evacuation list and in the region. Iran's Persian Gulf Strait Authority warned vessels using routes outside the PGSA's framework will not be covered by safe passage guarantees.
The Oklahoma City Thunder looking to reload in the NBA draft. We're going to break down who was picked and give you some of the highlights and what you need to know about some of the new players.
This is Fox 25 Sports.
The 2026 NBA Draft is now in the books. The two-night event helping franchises prepare for the future of their teams. And here in OKC, the Thunder hoping their young guns can help them gear up for another deep postseason run. OKC made 3 draft picks over the course of 2 nights during the draft. The first player selected at 12th overall, Michigan big man Adai Mara, the 7'3" center known for his defensive presence and strong passing ability. And get this, he also has a standing reach of 9'9". That's tied for the second longest in NBA Combine history. Another big presence down low, the Thunder hoping he can slow down some of the NBA's elite big men. 4 picks later, the Thunder swapped their 17th pick for the Grizzlies' 16th pick and drafted Bennett Sturts. The 6'3" guard from Iowa led the Hawkeyes in scoring this year, averaging 19 points per game. A veteran guard that will be able to provide much-needed depth off the bench as OKC look to navigate the salary cap. And last night, they made one more pick, a familiar name to Sooner fans, Otega Oweh. Oweh joins the Thunder after he was drafted 41st overall. The New Jersey native spent 2 years in Norman before transferring to Kentucky. Oweh was among the top two-way players in college basketball the last 2 seasons, and the Thunder hope both his defensive ability and his scoring can translate to the next level. All 3 players will be introduced at a press conference tomorrow with General Manager Sam Presti. We'll have the full recap of the presser coming up tomorrow night. I'm Stone Weber, and that's Look at Sports.
Team USA currently going up against Turkey, and a lot of Oklahoma fans showing their support tonight.
One of them happens to be Rob Hagan. Yeah, we sent our guy out to Bricktown Ballpark. I know you're enjoying the game. Sorry to interrupt it. How's it going out there?
Oh, Wendy, Adam, you know what the best part is about the World Cup? It unites cultures all around the world. It brings fans from near and very far. As a matter of fact, from thousands of miles away in the UK, I have here Lucy, Ben, and Charlie from the UK that came all the way to Oklahoma City, and now they're watching the game. Ben, you were telling me a little bit about the food. What's some of the food that you've tried here?
Well, tonight, for the first time, I've tried alligator, so that was different. Enjoyed it, it was good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how was that gator?
6 or 7, it was good.
And Charlie, what are you excited about seeing the game tonight?
Just watching some of the really talented players. Just being here as well. It's a very special experience, one that we won't get back at home. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Excellent. And then I see you're wearing that jersey. Where'd you get that jersey at?
We went to watch one of the games in Dallas a couple of days ago, so we knew we were going to be here for the USA game. So I thought, why not get the shirt and support them while we're here? So.
All right. And Mom, how are you liking Oklahoma so far?
Loving it, yeah, it's been really nice. It's been good at the Bricktown. We've really enjoyed the vibe. It's just been, really, really good. Really enjoyed it.
And how did you stumble upon the ballpark tonight? How did you find out?
Well, we're staying locally and we were getting ready to go out and looked out. We were like, oh my gosh, they're playing out, watching it in the ballpark. So we wouldn't get to do this back home. We don't have ballparks, so it's a really cool thing to be able to do and say we've done that no one else will have done. So it's really good.
Great. And then, who are you most excited to see play tonight on this game, Team USA and Turkey?
Christian Pulisic. I watched him in the first game and he was absolutely fantastic. So glad that he's back out there tonight.
And any game day predictions tonight, Charlie? What do you think's going to happen?
3-1 America.
3-1 America. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for joining us. Until the next time, Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News, live from the Bricktown Ballpark, uniting cultures.
A new report revealing more Americans still being priced out of home ownership, why the U.S. continues to face a housing shortage. Just ahead on Fox 25.
We're still watching storms out there, especially this supercell that is down in the southwest part of the state. Quite the mothership-looking structure to it with the striations in the cloud base, especially when you can see it lit up there by the lightning. And also very low to the ground, too. Coming up, we're going to be talking to our storm trackers and also talking about the storms throughout the rest of our evening tonight.
A new Route 66 landmark is now welcoming visitors to Oklahoma City. The towering Kicks 66 sculpture, a 35-foot tall red cowboy boot, now open outside the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. Created by Oklahoma artist Cameron Eagle, the boot celebrates Route 66 upcoming 100th anniversary, and it's expected to become one of the highway's newest roadside attractions. Oklahoma City is getting an early start on Independence Day celebrations this weekend. The annual Stars and Stripes River Festival returns to the Boathouse District on Saturday with a full day of family-friendly activities. Visitors can enjoy whitewater rafting, surfing, tubing, climbing, rowing, dragon boat races, live music, and food. The day wraps up with the popular OG&E night sprints on the Oklahoma River. Admission is free and parking is available for $10.
The U.S. Postal Service temporarily suspended operations at the Union City Post Office following storm damage. Officials say roof damage forced the immediate closure of the facility on North Main Street. Postal services, including P.O. Box pickup, have been temporarily relocated to the Minco Post Office. USPS says customers will need a valid picture ID to pick up P.O. Box mail at the Minco location until the Union City office opens. When school's in session, thousands of Oklahoma children rely on free breakfast and lunch programs, and when summer arrives, those meals disappear for some, leaving many families scrambling to fill the gap.
Summer has been pretty busy. It's been just over the past year, we've just kind of seen an increase in need across our state and service area. There's a variety of reasons for that. Folks have had restrictions on SNAP. We had the shutdown in the middle of the year that caused disruptions in families' budgets, which have just been recently probably been evening out. But also, it's just everything's really expensive. You go to the grocery store myself, and it's expensive to purchase meals for my family. And so I imagine, like, I'm employed and I have my wife's employed, and we are able to purchase food, but times are still tough for us. And I just think about folks who are a single parent and trying to get food for their families. And it's hard. So that's where it's important for folks to know that these summer meals are available. They can go and supplement their monthly budget and hopefully use that money for rent or more groceries or their utilities and just do the best they can.
The Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma says initiatives like the Sinclair Cares are crucial in providing awareness to causes like the fight against hunger in Oklahoma. But we can't do it without you. Donations and volunteers, a critical part of meeting the growing demand. And if you want to help, just scan the QR code right there on your screen.
So we continue to watch a number of storms that are out there across the western parts of the state going into southwest Oklahoma, but they are making their way now into the more central part of the state. And because of that, that's the reason why we have a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. That does include the metro area. The tornado watch that we had was canceled in our area because there actually isn't anything within that part of the state. But I'm also joined with our meteorologist, Connor Baldwin. And so Connor's going to drive the radar as we go and take a look at some of the storms that we currently have out there. So we've got right now this severe thunderstorm warning that we've got in the northern one as we're watching this. This is going now into Canadian County. It goes until 10 o'clock in the evening. And I would imagine it's for winds up to 70 miles per hour and still the chance for some fairly large hail that could be maybe up to around quarter size or so. But you can see, though, that we've got really strong winds showing up there on our velocity product. Now, this is a little bit higher off the ground, but we could easily be talking about winds in that 60 to 70 mile per hour range moving on into the far western side of Canadian County. So Hinton, Bridgeport, we got some strong winds. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, we just got an update about approximate arrival times as these storms near the metro. El Reno between 9:45 and 10 p.m., Yukon between 10:05 and 10:20 p.m., Will Rogers between 10:15 and 10:30, and Norman between 10:30 and 11.
Yeah, because we get a lot of people out, like you've just seen with our live shots of people out and about watching Team USA. So that will be a problem here going forward into that 10 to 11 o'clock hour. But we do have our storm tracker, Caleb Schrock. He is there. Oh, he's out right now. So he's getting gas with his car. We'll check in with him in a second as he's with that storm. But we're also watching another beast of a storm down in the southwest part of the state as well. As you can see, we've got another severe thunderstorm warning there. No tornado warning currently on it, but it does have some rotation. Looks to be a little bit more impressive than it was looking farther to the north. And this is the storm that is now just off to the west of the Mangum area, where there is not only more rotation with it, but also a better hail potential with this storm too. Especially within this area that you've got between Reed and the Mangum area, right where Connor is circling there. That's where area of rotation is, and that's also going to be your area too of some larger hail that you're going to see out of that. So that's where our hook is, as you can see on the reflectivity. And Carly and Andrew are looking right at it, so we'll take their shot. Carly, if you can hear us, let us know what you're seeing right now. Obviously, it's darker and it's not as easily seen with the structure, but the lightning is still lighting up that mothership, correct?
Yes, 100%. We still are able to see the structure with each lightning strike. We've got a lot of blowing dust. It looks like we're starting to get some of that inflow where we're currently sitting at.
Okay, so the winds that you have are going into the storm, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, Carly, thank you very much. So, again, we were watching these storms, and they're going to be making their way closer to the metro. And, Connor, I'll just take it over from here. Yeah, there's that hail core there, too. Large hail associated with that storm. But, again, we are talking about the storm making its way eastward, all of this to the east. And so that's where we have our slight risk as well as even the enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center, where there's also still that tornado potential, but thankfully we've not really seen much of that going forward. So our Futurecast doing a pretty good job showing where things are at right now. So again, kind of arriving into the metro area between, let's say, 10 and 11 o'clock this evening across the I-35 corridor, and then it will still continue to be stormy and rainy even after that, even though our severe potential is going down. So flooding is also going to be a threat with our storms too, heading on into the overnight hours. And then we've got actually just a isolated chance for storms heading on into our day tomorrow. So you can even see with our excessive rainfall, they've now modified it, and it now includes that extra bullseye within the central part of the state to account for the storms that we have out there right now. And there is a flood watch across more of northern Oklahoma until 7 o'clock in the morning. So these storms that we're going to be watching out for this evening will be passing on off to the east overnight. We are still left with an isolated chance for storms for our Friday because of that stationary boundary. And then after that, we're looking at dry conditions to take over, where it's going to be just a hot and dry forecast going forward. So we'll track our storms this evening, but as you can see with our 10-day forecast, we've got an isolated chance for storms for tomorrow, and then it's hot and dry from this weekend all the way into next week.
There are an estimated 7,000 rare diseases around the world, and many others, like autoimmune disorders, have symptoms that overlap, making them harder to diagnose.
But experts say you know your body best, and if your symptoms are being dismissed, keep fighting for care. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has one woman's years-long journey to a diagnosis and 4 things she says patients can do to advocate for their health.
It started with subtle, unexplained symptoms in high school, but Lily Honeycutt's health continued to decline with chronic illnesses, stomach problems, and eventually exhaustion and serious infections.
By the time I was in my late 20s, I just kind of fell off a cliff with my symptoms.
This avid runner says she went from half marathons to barely being able to walk a block and sleeping 18 hours a day. She knew something was wrong, but says doctors blamed it on stress or diet, factors within her control.
I spent a long time believing that it was something that I was doing and trying to change my behavior.
Honeycutt says one doctor who listened, plus one abnormal blood test result and a specialist referral equaled an answer after 15 years of symptoms, a diagnosis of common variable immunodeficiency.
It was incredibly validating for the most part. Just kind of in disbelief that it was actually happening.
Honeycutt now pushes for patients without answers to advocate for their health by doing 4 things. First, trust your body. Second, it's okay to find another doctor, something she wishes she would have done sooner. Third, get a support system. She says there are online forums and websites with other people who have mystery chronic illnesses. And finally, hold on to hope.
There are lots of options to consider other than it's all in your head. So if you're hearing a doctor jump to that, just move on to the next one.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The federal health response to the hantavirus outbreak associated with a cruise ship has ended. The 42-day quarantine period for the 18 U.S. citizens who were exposed to the virus on the cruise ship ended Sunday. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says no transmission occurred in the U.S. and no individuals are currently being monitored. The World Health Organization says they will consider the outbreak to be over on July 2nd if there are no new cases before then. The CDC says the initial source of the exposure for the outbreak is still under investigation. A positive case of the Ebola virus has been identified in France. The French Ministry of Health says the individual is a doctor who just returned from one of the virus transmission zones in the Congo. The patient is stable and being treated at a specialized facility in France. Officials in the Congo say there are nearly 1,100 confirmed cases of Ebola there, including nearly 280 confirmed deaths. They say there could be more cases they don't know about, and the peak is yet to come.
A federal judge says the Justice Department can't get medical records from New York City hospitals that provided gender identity care. Prosecutors wanted those records on minors. They include medical assessments, diagnosis, and the transgender status of patients. The government even went so far as to get a grand jury subpoena to compel NYU Langone hospitals to supply those documents. The judge issued a temporary restraining order against the subpoena Wednesday. She said the government's interest does not outweigh the parents' right to privacy.
Infant formula made in the U.S. is safe. That is the continued message from the FDA, why their new announcements being met with backlash, and why critics say the agency is leaving out key information. That's coming up. Millions of infants rely on formula, and the FDA recently declared America's supply is safe.
But as Fox 25 investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher learned, serious questions remain about the safety and regulation of an industry charged with feeding our most sensitive population.
The FDA called it the largest and most comprehensive examination of contaminants in infant formula ever conducted. Its conclusion, quote, infant formula is safe.
What does safe mean? Because these days it seems like safe has many nuances. What one organization deems as safe, a pediatrician might not.
Dr. Anna Maria Temple is a pediatrician who focuses on children's environmental exposures and says the FDA's simple assurance obscures a far more complicated picture. That's because the FDA's own testing found contaminants in many formulas. While heavy metals are still present, levels have dropped. But Temple says other dangerous contaminants like phthalates are still there.
Dr. Temple, are phthalates dangerous?
Yes, they're very concerning. They have an effect on the endocrine system, the neurological system, specifically the endocrine, which is hormones.
Phthalates are chemicals commonly used in plastics and packaging and were found in nearly 50% of samples. DEHP, a specific phthalate known to cause premature births and even make cancer treatments less effective, was found in nearly 20% of formulas. One had more than 9 times the limit for drinking water. PFAS forever chemicals were also detected. They have been tied to childhood leukemia and decreased vaccine efficacy. One of the chemicals was found in half of formulas, with the highest levels exceeding the EPA's limit for drinking water. Temple says babies are far more vulnerable to toxins than adults.
The way a baby absorbs nutrients is very different than an adult, right? The human brain is like 2% of the whole body, but it uses 20% of the energy coming in. So 20% of the food that the child is eating is going to the brain.
Sandra Eskin is the former head of food safety at USDA and now leads the consumer advocacy group Stop Foodborne Illness.
Here you've got everything's fine, and then you don't hear the rest of the message.
Is everything fine?
No. Could it be better? Yes. No question about it.
And arguably, the most important information, the names of the 16 companies tested and how each brand performed, were not shared with consumers.
They blinded all of the brands as associated with the test results to the public. As a consumer advocate, how are parents supposed to take this massive expenditure of taxpayer money to do this test and then not get any actionable information out of it?
It's very, very frustrating. If the goal here is to give consumers the ability to take control of what they eat across the board, this information, who produced it, is important.
While the FDA says infant formula is safe, it has also said some of its findings have, quote, initiated additional follow-up actions. We asked what those actions are. The FDA did not respond. We also filed Freedom of Information requests seeking the raw data and the unblinded results. The FDA did not provide them. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
The American dream of moving out is becoming harder to reach. A new report finds a record number of young adults are still living with their parents.
Fox 25 national reporter Angela Brown breaks down the findings.
More Americans are signing contracts to buy homes.
More buyers coming into the market, more transaction, better for the economy.
But young Americans are feeling the squeeze. A new Realtor.com report finds that more than 25 million adults under 35 are living with a parent, 1 in 3. That number now surpasses even the pandemic-era high. Hannah Jones, senior economist for Realtor.com, says something about their income level, debt load, or the cost of housing in their market is keeping them home despite steady employment. In fact, roughly 70% of those 25 to 34-year-olds living at home are employed. A CEO who tracks the housing market every day says he knows exactly what's really going on.
The challenge continues to be one of affordability. We're seeing very modest gains in transaction volumes this year in the housing market. The uncertainty in the macro, I think, is keeping buyers on the sidelines.
And the supply side isn't helping. The U.S. is short roughly 4 million homes. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Americans will be spending more on food this 4th of July, but getting less. Here's what the numbers say. A National Retail Federation survey shows consumers expect to spend $94.41 on food for holiday celebrations. That is a record, up about $2 over last year. It's a 2% increase, while the price of food has gone up more than 3%. The jump is even higher for people grilling burgers or hot dogs, as beef prices have spiked nearly 16%. Fewer people are applying for unemployment as layoffs hold steady amid economic uncertainty. The Labor Department reports applications fell by 12,000 to 215,000 in the week ending on June 20th. That is slightly less than the 225,000 applications predicted by analysts. The unemployment rate remains at 4.3%. Weekly unemployment filings are deemed as an outlook for layoffs and as an almost real-time indicator of how healthy the job market is performing.
Recent surveys found most Americans are facing suspected scam attempts every day through text messages, phone calls, and emails. About 3 in 10 U.S. adults said they've personally lost money or personal information to a scam. While a Gallup survey found many victims lost hundreds of dollars, yet few reported the crimes to law enforcement or federal agencies. Many say they did not report scams because they didn't expect to recover their money or didn't know where to turn. Gamers in the market for an Xbox should not wait to buy. Microsoft announced it's boosting the price of the video game console by $100 in August. If you want a terabyte model, those are going up $150. Anyone looking for the 2 terabyte version will be out of luck completely, as it's being discontinued. The company blaming skyrocketing storage and memory prices.
Passing through airport security checkpoints is about to get easier for Android phone owners. The TSA now accepting pre-check touchless ID stored in Google Wallet. That's a major upgrade for the program, which until now only partnered with a handful of airline apps. It makes no difference which airline Google Wallet users are flying on. If they have TSA PreCheck and upload a passport to the wallet, they can opt into the program. It's available at around 65 airports. An animal shelter in Texas has named its newest stray cat Georgia O'Keeffe after she was discovered delivering a litter of kittens in an open can of wet paint.
The mama cat delivered 4 tiny little kittens who were discovered right away, taken to the Longview Animal Care Center. Staffers spent hours carefully cleaning the new family and report everybody's healthy, everybody's safe.
A NASA satellite found 2 new planets known as super puffs. They got that name because they're about the size of Jupiter but have less than 6% of its mass. Scientists compare their density to that of cotton candy. The planets are more than 1,100 light years away, and NASA isn't sure exactly what they look like.
The odds of winning the lottery stacked against you, but to do it twice, almost impossible. But a Chicago area man 2 weeks ago won $1.3 million in Illinois' Lucky Day Lotto drawing. He didn't rely on lucky numbers to do it. Instead, bought a quick pick ticket. The man says he won $45,000 in the same game 15 years ago. See, those are the stories where people are like, I don't play the lottery. I'm not and then this guy's like, I don't know, man.
I'm going to do it twice.
Yeah, you might hit it every once in a while.
Because like
I'm beating the odds.
Because now I'm kind of thinking it's like, you know, normally my threshold is the billion.
Yeah.
Before I will go to buy one, but now I'm almost kind of thinking like you should just buy it when it's like the brand new, like when it starts over again, because like no one's really played it yet, and sure that it may not be $1 billion, but like a couple million is still a couple million.
Yeah.
Still more than I have right now.
Same, yeah, same, and probably more than I'll probably ever get. We've got temperatures that are going to be going up next week, but most importantly, though, this evening we are tracking these storms. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 10:30, and it does include the far western side of the metro. So it does actually include there portions of Oklahoma County, a little bit there of Cleveland County, and also McLean County, and back, as you can see, a majority there of Canadian and a majority of Grady County. Again, primarily for 70-mile-per-hour winds with that storm. And we're also watching additional storms down to our southwest, too. Our 10-day forecast, as you'll see, we've got, again, one more day of storms. It'll be quite isolated tomorrow. Then after that, it's just hot and dry going to the weekend and next week.